hearty thank you to everyone for your interest. So I think I'm just going to make this training fresh. You can connect and make the pentatonic scale fluent across the neck, and I'm a firm believer in chord placement. The pentatonic doesn't live in a vacuum. The pentatonic doesn't live by itself. Just remember that chords are formed out of scales. So, from the pentatonic minor scale, what have we got? We've got several chords up and down the neck that we can use. So first, let's dig into chords, which are our place markers or our landmarks of our pentatonic boxes. All right, let's dig in. Okay, so first we're just going to play good old E minor, everyone's first chord. Next, we're going to play E minor here. It looks like a D minor chord. Next, we're going to play E minor here. I'll show you the chord chart. See, we're going to pivot on that middle finger and go. We pivot on the ring finger. Next, we're going to play E minor here, the bar chord version. Then, we're going to play the little guy, the little version of that. For those of you that can't play bar chords yet, now we're just playing string 1 fret 7, string 2 fret 8, and string 3 fret 9. We're going to now play an E minor partial bar chord up here at string 4 fret 14, strings 1, 2, and 3 at fret 12. And finally, we're going to play that little D minor shaped chord once again at the octave. Now that might not be within reach for you if you're an acoustic player, and that's just fine. That's no problem, okay? So without further ado, let me show you how these relate to the scales and where your freedom is going to come from. Okay, so for this second playing example, we're going to work through all of our boxes, and I know you may know them, but I want you to look at alternate picking on them, and I want you to hear the legato or smooth and connected way that I'm going to play these. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. What didn't I do? I didn't move my arm, and I didn't move from the elbow. Let's go to box 2. Relating it back to an E chord, back to the root, an E minor or an E5 chord. Box 3, shall we? Box 4. Box 5. We often get asked what fingering you use for it. Well, I know this question seems like I'm giving an answer the easy way out, but I think you should use the fingering you like the best. If you're just running the boxes up and down and you're not playing licks, I would use the proper fingering. So, for example, in box 5 we just played, I would use middle finger on 10, pinky on 12. Box 1 octave. Box 2 octave. Box 3 octave if you can. Those are the boxes. Now let's look at how to play them up and down. It's time for us to tie them together. All right, so this is what I call up and downs, and we end up playing a circle. Box 1 ascending in pitch to box 2, and then back to box 1. Here we go. Let's play that a little more slowly. See, I made a circle there. Box 2 into box 3, shall we? I'm playing it quickly to get through it, but I want you to take your time and use a metronome. Box 3 to box 4, can we? Box 4 to box 5, shall we? Box 5 to the octave of box 1, can we? I threw a sequence in there. Let's play it straight. Box 2, box 1 into box 2 octave. If you've got the real estate on your electric guitar, let's do box 2 to box 3 octave. Go slow. Use the most comfortable fingering for you. Very good. So that's a big step right there in connecting your boxes. What I'd like to do is play the bottom 2 strings for you of each box. This is an exercise that intentionally helps you with lateral movement. Let's move the camera angle a little bit. All right. Again. I started using some pull-offs in there to make it sound even smoother. We don't need to get into pull-offs now. I want you to work on down-up picking slowly and smoothly. Let's move on to strings 2 and 3. Strings 2 and 3, shall we? Strings 3 and 4. So. I'll do that again. I was playing that string 3 box 2 a little bit off, so. Repeating patterns inside the same box. Let's play a cascade, okay? This is called playing by scale degrees. Once more. That's your first 4 notes, then. And then. Word to the wise, you're going to have some finger rolls like this. So. That little roll when you're finishing up that prior phrase on string 4 fret 2 and starting the next phrase on string 3 fret 2. Same thing happens here. Because of the tuning of the guitar and parallel fourths here, to play this particular scale and several scales on the guitar, you end up having to learn a roll finger or 2 fingers. You do what's best for you. I personally, I roll the finger. Okay, box 2, cascades. 4 notes at a time sequence. Box 3. Box 4. Box 5. Box 1 octave. Box 2 octave. What are we doing? Let's play it straight first. String 6, open 3, 5, 7. You got a big run up here that cuts through several boxes. String 5 does not contain a root. It's only the notes D. Oh, it does contain a root. I'm sorry. So string 5 contains a root, so that's our short string. There's going to be a long string and a short string now. String 5 is a short string. String 4 is a long string, 5, 7, 9. String 3 is a short string, 7, 9. See how we end on the root. String 2 is a long string because there's no root. And string 1 is a short string because it's a root. Slow. So yeah, those are some ideas to get you blazing across the pentatonic. Really just think of it as 2 sides to the coin. On the one side of the coin, you work your boxes in their position. So you do cool things inside of the box, box 1 or box 5 or whatever. On the other side of the coin, you have to learn the boxes laterally and relate them to the chords. So learn all of those E minor chords I showed you. Take it slow. You really have to use alternate picking. When you go on and you learn your full minor scale, not the pentatonic, but the full minor scale, and the full major scale, not the penta, you're going to see that the picking is easier. Even though they're more advanced concepts, the picking is easier because the right hand gets a nice down, up, down on a string. But in the pentatonic, you really just have a down, up on each string, or an up, down. That is very challenging because we are having to cross 6 strings very quickly. The more often you have to move your hand across the 6 strings, the more difficult learning that passage is, because our body's reaction is to move from the elbow. Don't move from the elbow. Use the alternate picking. Use a metronome and go slow, and you are going to make a lot of progress. But please remember, don't watch the garden grow every day. It's really brutal to watch the garden grow every day. Forget about it. Just do your 10-15 minutes of tie together practice. Write it down and move on to a fun project, and come back the next day and do the same. Use a metronome, and if you can increase 2 beats a day, say from 72 beats a minute to 74 beats a minute, that's excellent. And after 1 week, you can really celebrate that, because you'll be up to 10 or 12 additional beats a minute. That's a win. Playing this stuff cleanly, at a slow tempo, smooth and connected, and then increasing your tempo. That's a win. Celebrate the small wins. The pentatonic scale has been used for years to create beautiful canvas and colors on the guitar. So don't lose faith. What I showed you today was very dry stuff without really licks. Licks are a different topic, all right? But have fun and enjoy.